Oh, is it live? I didn't know it was live. Had no idea. Sorry, I was just finishing out a workout. Just finishing a workout real quick. My bad, Laker fans. I had no idea. All right, we're in. We're here, Laker fans. Just another 11 calories burned, no problem. Laker fans, appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys tuning in right out the gate. That's a great name. Sleep with Tyson? Probably. Basically. I mean, might as well be. All right, let's see what else we got. 30-second applause tonight, Sliwa. We're not going 30 seconds. I tried, but that's a long time, bro. It's a long time to go 30. We don't have time for that. My favorite is when people tune in for the first time, and this is the beginning, and they're like, what the hell is going on with this channel? What the hell is wrong with these people? That's just how we do it. It's a post-game show after the post-game show. I finished post-game show number 1. This is post-game show number 2. All right? Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Austin Reeves, got to have him in there. He's the key. Greetings from Hawaii. Keep up the great post-game after the post-game. Thank you for the love and greetings to Hawaii, my friend. I appreciate you being a part of the show, and I appreciate the super chat. What is going on, Laker fans? How we doing over here? Everybody doing all right tonight? Huh? Quick little 122-112 win over the Toronto Raptors. Hey, what are you going to do? Just another day of Lakers basketball. The hell's going on here? We're playing some really, really good basketball, Laker fans. I am genuinely enjoying Lakers basketball again. I am genuinely enjoying Lakers basketball again. I really, really am. That's the best way that I can put it. Sliwa Shadow Box. Let's see the uppercut, Alan. By the way, I used to just come on and do one of these, and I don't know when the basically sparring practice started, but it started whenever it did. All right, I appreciate you all being a part of the show. Thank you so much for being here. We got a lot to talk about with Lakers basketball. I got a number of things that I want to get into, okay? I'm going to talk about the game. I'm going to talk about kind of the ups and the downs. Lakers down 15, come all the way back, down again, come all the way back. I'm going to spend some time talking about what's going on across the street, Laker fans, because I know we got people that are tuning in from everywhere. That's just where Laker fans are. They're everywhere. They're not just in Los Angeles, California. They're everywhere. Something kind of cool going on across the street there. I really, really do mean that when I say it. Shout out, Nick. Thank you. Regards from Madrid, Spain. Nick, I might need an invite one of these days. In the off season, that come out to Madrid, Spain. Give me one of those. Go Lakers. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that very much. So let me get in the game here for a quick second, because the Lakers have won 8 of their last 11 games, find themselves in 9th place in the NBA standings. And also on top of that are they are 1 game out of number 6, a game and a half out of number 5. What the hell just happened here? Some real stuff moving with the Los Angeles Lakers, and I think it's pretty special. So let me start off with the game. I'm going to kind of just give you guys a heads up right now. There are a lot of comments. So I'm going to do my best to try to get to some of these comments. But let me first start kind of giving my opinion on the whole thing, and then we'll go. Usually I try to go 20 minutes, to be honest with you. I'm just going to go as long as we want to go tonight. Is what it is. This will be the show for tonight. It will be the show for tomorrow, and then we got a game coming up on Sunday. Slee, we need you to start doing some pull-ups. Not trying to dislocate my shoulder. I probably do 3. Do a solid 3. Okay, so let's get into the game here real quick. Let me do this here real quick on the actual game. All right, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the game real quick. So we're coming off the Lakers beating the Memphis Grizzlies. on Tuesday night. One of the coolest Laker games I've ever been to. Obviously, I did post game after the post game on YouTube, and I talked to you guys. I'm like, what an unbelievable game. Powell getting his jersey retired. It was perfect. You can't top this. And oh, by the way, it was a big game. The Lakers came back and won it. And today, actually being there tonight, I did get a second to kind of just look up at the rafters. It's like, wow, that is actually, that bottom line is pretty amazing right there. It's got Chick Hearn. It's got Shaq's 34. It got Kobe's 8. Kobe's 8 next to Shaq's 34. Perfect. It's got Kobe's 24 next to Gasol's 16. That bottom row, just as somebody where that's kind of like my era. That's pretty amazing right there. So I'm going to put that to the side there. But you come into crypto, and you guys know how much I love basketball. I like the Toronto. I like what the Toronto Raptors. I like how they build. I'm a big fan of Masai Ujiri, and I was looking at this game like, this is gonna be a tough game. The Raptors have so many long players, wing players, athletic players. They run up and down the floor. I thought if the Lakers don't pay close attention to the Toronto Raptors, they could lose this game tonight. That's how I felt coming in. And then before you knew it, bam, Lakers are down 15. I'm like, what the hell? They go down 15 points right out the gate. But they kind of, Toronto doesn't really step on their throat. I know it's still early, and they kind of let the Lakers hang around here. And by the time the first quarter is done, it's only a 4-point game. So you're like, all right, well, Lakers got lucky. And then the second quarter, Lakers ball out. 39-27, they outscore the Raptors. They outscore them by 12. And the Lakers have an 8-point lead at halftime. Again, feeling good at halftime, saying, all right, I'm watching. By the way, before the game even starts, and I'm doing it on the pregame show I'm talking about, I'm like, hey, Portland and the Philadelphia 76ers are kind of like neck and neck here, are the Sixers and the Portland Trailblazers. They're playing against each other. So I got my league pass. So I'm watching. I have the Blazers and the Sixers on in the background, and as I'm doing the pregame show, I'm saying, all right, well, Blazers just lost by 1. That's a big loss. In the pregame show, or when the pregame's done, Brooklyn goes to overtime against the Minnesota Timberwolves because Naz Reid hits a 3 at the buzzer, but they end up losing the game. So Lakers right out the gate, it's like, damn, you could gain ground on Minnesota and Portland if you end up winning this game. They're up 8 at halftime. You feel pretty good. I'm done with the halftime show. I go down the restroom. I come back up. The lead is gone. Lakers are down, I think, by 1 or something like that. So third quarter is terrible, and then the fourth quarter comes. I can only speak to, as best as I can, there's a vibe across the street at crypto.com right now that is really, really awesome. And I'm not saying it's just at the arena. I'm sure you guys are watching games. You feel it too. You actually feel excited about Lakers basketball again. It's actually a fun product to watch again. Lakers blow out the Raptors in the fourth quarter, 37-22. And oh, by the way, Anthony Davis doesn't even score in double figures. If you just said, Al, the Lakers played the Raptors, and Anthony Davis had 8 points and 9 rebounds, and he took 7 shots, I would tell you, sounds good. How much did the Lakers lose by? They didn't lose. D'Lo dropped 28 and 9. 61 points from the Lakers bench. Reeves with 18, Dennis Schroeder with 23 and 7, Rui Hachimura with 16. I was talking crap about Rui ever since he's shutting me up. And then Jared Vanderbilt with 16 points. So Laker fans, before I even kind of get into the details of it, this is a really impressive win. Braun's not there. D'Lo was out for 6 games. This is his first game back. Anthony Davis doesn't even score double digits. The Lakers beat the Raptors by 10. That's impressive. That really is impressive. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. That's impressive. They're 33-34. They're 1 game below 500, and they're still trying to climb out of that 2-10 start, and now they're 1 game away from getting back to 500. Okay. Now, let me talk about some of the individual players. All right. We'll start out with D'Angelo Russell because he had the biggest stat line, and he hasn't played in 6 games. So we'll start out with D'Lo. D'Lo's an interesting player. D'Angelo Russell is one of those unique players that he likes big moments. He likes when kind of likes dagger type of shots, right? That's not for everybody. Not everybody has that skill set or wants the ball in those situations. D'Lo hit some dagger threes. In his post game, he talked a little bit about it. He said that, you know, they're probably not the best shots, but he feels the crowd and he feels the momentum, and he's saying to himself, "Man, if I hit the shot, the roof is going to come off of this place." He did that a couple times tonight, and the roof basically came off. He said that he's trying to kind of reinvigorate the crowd a little bit, and it's not just what he does. If Jared Vanderbilt has a great play, he's looking at the crowd like, "Let's go." If Dennis Schroeder has a big play, he's looking at the crowd, "Let's go." Kind of an interesting D'Angelo Russell. Got to be honest with you. An interesting D'Lo. And I don't know if you guys remember me saying this on Tuesday after the game, that I was talking about how important D'Angelo Russell is, because he's not a superstar, but he's also not a role player. He's that in-between guy. He can drop 18 a night. He could also go off for 25 or 30. He can give you 6 assists a night, but he could also end up with 10 or 12. And he could do it kind of on a consistent basis, the 18 and 6, 20 and 8, whatever it is. That's pretty much what D'Lo's going to do, especially because LeBron's not here. Um, that's not a small puzzle piece. That's a very important puzzle piece to what the Lakers have. And it's an even bigger puzzle piece when LeBron James isn't there. So D'Angelo Russell, I want to just full stop give the man his credit. He was big time tonight, and he added this element of, there was just it was a great vibe at the arena, and I'm sure everybody watching was feeling the same way. D'Lo added a really unique element, so I enjoyed that part of it. I really did enjoy that part of it. Now it's going to be up to him to kind of, continue to be comfortable, continue to get everybody else comfortable, and go make it happen. He said something too about Anthony Davis that I loved. He said Anthony Davis is selfless, and what he was trying to explain is that AD only took 7 shots and didn't care. It wasn't about AD. Hey, I got to get mine. Hey, I'm trying to take as many. The Toronto Raptors basically said, AD, you're not shooting the ball. That's the way they played him on defense, and they made everybody else have to beat him. And AD wasn't complaining about it. AD wasn't on the sideline chirping about it. AD was excited to see his players, his teammates thrive. And I like that D'Angelo just said he's selfish for having that much talent and not demanding the ball. Those are good quotes. Those are I was a fan of all that. Okay. Let's now go. Let's read a couple of these comments. I am so far behind on the comments. This is ridiculous. We'll throw love that jacket in. 7 degrees in here. Just want you to know that 7 degrees. It's warmer outside. Okay? It's warmer outside right now. When I go outside, I take the jacket off. When I come in here, I put the jacket on. All right. I'm being a little dramatic there. All right. Let me see here. All right. Intel Wild, we are looking good, my man. We are looking great right now, my friend. Great right now. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, buddy. All right, let me go through a couple of these right now. I am so far behind. I'm going to do this one just because it's a topic and it's right here in front of me. Francis Mendoza, props to Rui for the past 2 games. It was critical. I'm going to get into all the role players and the bench in just a second, but let me just kind of start off with Rui. Oh, I ran my mouth on Rui. I said he's the most disappointing. I did Lakers talk on Monday, did the full show, and I put it up here on YouTube. The first thing that I said was I was kind of going through all the players. I said Beasley's inconsistent. I said Jared Vanderbilt has been my favorite player so far. I said Mo Bamba has kind of surprised me a little bit, and Rui was the player. I didn't put D'Lo on there just because he was injured, and I don't really kind of see him as a role player. And I said Rui was the most disappointing so far. These last 2 games, man, he's looked fantastic. And I'm always happy to look stupid as long as one of the Laker players is looking good. So I'll take that all day long. Andrew Knox, thank you. I appreciate the support, my man. I really do. All right. Let me now. I'm just going to go towards the bottom here because it's impossible that I'm going to catch up on this. I like this one. David Sabatini, great test for us tonight, Alan. So, okay. So here's a couple things that I'm going to say on the win tonight. I'm going to get to the role players. Lakers are not winning this game without the role players. Period. Okay. Lakers do not win this game tonight without the role players. So, I'm sorry. Without the bench, the Lakers don't win this game. They had 61 points coming from the bench. Rui dropped to 16. Dennis Schroeder. Can we give some praise to Dennis Schroeder? I don't think Laker fans really truly understand this. I'm trying my best to talk about Dennis Schroeder when I can. Remember when this guy was a Los Angeles Laker a couple years ago and really how he kind of left on the worst foot? I think there's some things he said initially that didn't really help him. I think he had a vision of who he was in the league, and I don't think that was adding up to it. Maybe he's been humbled, whatever the case is. But my question to Coach pregame show today was, hey, the trickle down effect. So now D'Angelo Russell is now a starter. So that means Dennis Schroeder's coming off the bench. How much does it help that bench that you have a real quarterback? That Dennis Schroeder is not the guy's a good basketball player. I prefer that he's not starting because I think that means you have a good team if he's coming off the bench. And I feel like he could be a really good quarterback for the bench. But Dennis Schroeder, 23 tonight, 7 assists tonight, 4 steals tonight. I mean, the guy, he's a gamer. I got no other way to put it. We've watched him a couple times this season churn his ankle, and then they go to timeout because his ankle, just the injury looks bad. I'm like, all right, well, he's going to be done. And then they come back from the timeout, and there's D'Angelo, or there's Dennis Schroeder. He's coming out on the floor. That's damn impressive. That is beyond impressive, from my opinion, from Dennis Schroeder. So, love to him as well. Austin Reeves owns Crypto.com Arena. Every move he makes, the crowd is oohing and ahhing. I mean, I find myself where I am. You're technically not supposed to cheer because you're not a fan. You're a media member. The problem is I'm a fan, and I just happen to be a media member. So I'm there. Every time Austin Reeves makes a move, I'm oohing and ahhing as if I'm sitting in section 112 having popcorn and a beer. The man just owns crypto. He really does. Laker fans all love him. Jared Vanderbilt is pure energy. He was great for the Lakers tonight as well. And I've already talked a little bit about Rui Hachimura. So the Lakers do not win this game without that bench. They had 61 points from the Lakers bench tonight. So as impressive as it gets. This is Jazzer. I'm a big fan of your show, and I recommend you start the live show with a countdown so we could all have time to tune in and not miss your jabs. I was not aware of that. And I know there is a countdown. I will improve that. Okay. Basically, if you want to see what you were missing, I mean, it's just kind of get them with that 1-2. You know what I mean? Just got to kind of get them with that 1-2. I have one move. I'd get knocked out in about 13 seconds. Just a heads up. Probably get knocked out in about 13 seconds. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, this is an interesting one. If LBJ comes back, we're winning it all. All right. I don't want to go that far down. I tell you what I would prefer doing right now, Laker fans. What I would prefer doing right now is this. I would prefer looking at those standings and saying, okay, well, what's realistic? They're sitting in 9th place right now. And they're only a game out of, here's the problem, just kind of a reality check. They're 1 game out of 6. They're also 1 game out of 11th. So you can't really get too comfortable with anything they're doing. I think you kind of just got to enjoy the W's that they're putting out right now. Just enjoy the wins that they have right now. Because the problem is we've watched the Lakers all season long hoping and praying for other teams to lose while we're just not playing good enough basketball to move up the standings. Now, in these last couple of weeks, they're 8-3 in their last 11 games, and they're kind of shooting up the standings because they're winning. Those other teams are going to continue to just kind of flail. The Warriors have a game tomorrow against the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, they could lose that game. The Dallas Mavericks won't have Luka tomorrow. Who are they playing again? They're playing at Memphis. They won't have Luka. Kyrie might not go. Okay, they could gain a little bit of ground there. But none of that matters unless you're winning games. And right now, the Lakers are winning some games. So the LBJ front of it, I get it. I understand it. I know what you're talking about. But I think that's too far down the road for me to talk about or worry about right now. In a couple weeks, if we hear that, hey, Braun is progressing great and it looks like he's going to come back towards the final week of the season, then our conversation could be completely different. But as of right now, man, I just want to see Lakers basketball continue to doing what they're doing and see if they could thrive doing it. LeBron's my guy. I hope he don't push for Kyrie to come next season. D'Lo is our point guard. He fits better. What's your thoughts, Lee? That's a much bigger conversation, but I will tell you that we are really, really getting a taste of what star basketball, the concept of star basketball versus put together a team and let these guys, find a way to click and make sure they complement each other. I think it's an interesting conversation. But let's see what happens the rest of the way. Kyrie could flame out in Dallas. The Lakers could continue to get hot, maybe get one of those top 6 seeds, have a chance against Memphis or Sacramento in the first round, see what they could do from there. There's so much to go before we get there, but team basketball, I'll tell you from a entertainment perspective, damn, this is so much more entertaining watching than any of that stuff we've been watching for the last couple years. That's for damn sure. Let's see here. Is Rui taking Beasley's minutes? Got to be honest, Laker fans. To be completely real on this one, Beasley's super inconsistent. I want to see that dude hit shots. He just doesn't hit shots consistently. I say every time I look, he's 3-11, 1 for 6. Yeah, that one game where he hit 7, but be nice that he's a little bit more consistent. So I think, there's been a lot of times I've done the shows and I hear people talk about Darvin Ham and they say they don't like this from Ham, they don't like that for him, whatever the case is. If I could give Darvin Ham some credit, a lot of times he's playing guys that are like the guys he had closing out the game were the right people to close out the game. So if just because you start doesn't mean you're going to finish a game. And I think that's the right philosophy. All right, how far back in these comments am I? Let's see what else we got here. Then Malik. That's interesting. Sometimes I'd rather have Lonnie than Malik in threes. Okay, I will tell you this. I have not been crazy about Lonnie Walker pretty much out of the rotation. I have not been crazy about that. Lonnie, I feel like, is a bucket. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to. I feel like when Lonnie Walker's in the game, you're going to get buckets. Beasley, I have not felt that way. So just being honest, Francis, I appreciate you chiming in there. Uncle Slee, bring that post-game after the post-game energy to Little Italy Echo Park. Enjoying our new look young Lake Show, brother. Let's go. The whole vibe changes. You start winning some games, the whole vibe changes. I keep telling that to people here at the radio station. Really, really changes. And they're a fun team to watch. Oh, this is a no-brainer here. This is a no-brainer. Sliwa versus Logan Paul. My money's on Sliwa. Bro, you'd cash in. You would cash in like no tomorrow. I'm not going to disappoint you if I'm going against Logan Paul. He's just not – he doesn't bring in enough at the box office for me to consider it. You know what I mean? Like, I just need more from him. I'm obviously – I'm the ticket. I'm the big box office ticket here. Logan Paul. Is it Paul Logan or Logan? I don't even know his name. All right. I'm hallucinating. Joseph, appreciate it. Lakers are 33 and 34. They're one game below 500 for the first time since it was 0-1. Damn. That is the most simple comment, yet it is brutally accurate. He's right. 33 and 34. The Lakers have not been this close to 500 since 0-1. My gosh. Simple yet very, very accurate. All right, let's see what we got here. Some people disagree with me on the Beasley stuff. I get it, I understand. I want to see more consistency from him. That's all. What's this one about the Suns? This is a very important question. I'm not trying to stop the current flow of our regular scheduled program. Ordering a big pizza, Sliwa style. What is going to be on it? I need sausage. I need red onions. I'll put some olives on it too, and let me put some green peppers on it as well. And then I'm going to put the pepper flakes all over it. Maybe a little hot sauce on it as well. I'm good there. I'm picking sausage over pepperoni. All right. Listen. Somebody sending me that. I'm gonna at least give my opinion there. Okay, Laker fans. Let's do this. Let's do a quick little. Now everybody's throwing in there. Where are you guys tuning in from? And then once we're done with roll call, we're gonna do some roll call right now. Once roll call is done, I want to get into the New York Knicks game, the next 5 games for the Lakers, and then we're going to call it a night. All right. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. By the way, thank you, everybody. All the comments, all the chats. It's very much appreciated. I can't believe for this long I was doing all this stuff on my phone and nobody said anything. Come on, YouTube. Help me out here a little bit. This is the post game after the post game show. All right, let me get a couple of these in. Athens, Greece. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Badass. So far, I got Madrid, Spain. I got Athens, Greece. Just waiting for them to say, hey, why don't you come out here? How badass. Greetings from Croatia. Thank you. Your Aztecs won. They did. They're trying to win tomorrow as well. Wrap up that. What did they probably get a five seat, something along those lines. All right, University of Newcastle. Thank you for being a part of the show. I appreciate that. Koreatown. Vegas. Malaysia in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. Australia, Netherlands, Rochester, New York. Thank you all for being a part of the show. Washington State, Santa Clarita, California, Vegas. I think I already said that. Lake Forest, California, Artesia. Thank you for being a part of the show. Let's see what else we got here. Los Angeles, New York, Studio City, Brooklyn, El Segundo, the guy was very persistent. He's been having this on here. My man, I got you. King Taco, Little Italy, Lebronto, California. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you. Let's see what else we got here. Taipei, thank you for being a part of the show. Orange County. Tokyo in the house. Mid-City, somebody's at Six Flags, I think. Mid-City, Los Angeles, and they're predicting 5-0 in the next 5 games. Delhi, India. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Philly. Someone's at the White House. Okay. Do your thing there. Someone's at Staples Center. Thought it was called crypto, but okay. Valley Center, Georgia, third shift UPS driver, Melbourne, Australia, Escondido, California. Thank you for being a part of the show. Georgia, Croatia, Africa. Thank you for being a part of the show. Always appreciate listeners everywhere. Talking Lakers basketball, always great to do. Louisiana, everybody in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. Okay, I'm going to start getting into the final thing that I want to do here. Lakers got the New York Knicks coming up, right? So the Knicks, who had been pretty hot, have lost 2 games in a row. They lost a random game where they're up like 16 to Charlotte. They lost. And then they played the Sacramento Kings, which is a tough game. This was yesterday, I want to say, lost by 5. And if I'm right in that game, I think Jalen Brunson left the game. That's what I didn't watch the game, but that's what I was reading. And I know that the Knicks are going to play tomorrow an afternoon game against the I was going to sneeze. It just happens, guys. Once a month or so during the live post-game show, I usually sneeze, okay? It just happens. Nothing I could do there. Nothing I could do there, Laker fans. Thank you for all the bless yous. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you a lot there. Thank you. Thank you. See how many nice people are? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, we got that part out of the way. Okay, so what I was trying to say there was the New York Knicks may be without Jalen Brunson. I know they got the Clippers tomorrow. It's a 1:00 game, and they got the Lakers the next day. So the Knicks are going to be in LA. Already are in Los Angeles because you got to fly the day before. Means they're hanging out in LA tonight. They're hanging out. They're playing a game tomorrow. They're hanging out in LA Saturday night, and then Sunday they got a game coming up against the Los Angeles Lakers. My hope is that they really, really, really enjoy Los Angeles, California. And I don't know what the deal is going to be with Jalen Brunson, but a Knicks team that looked like they were clicking on all cylinders, now all of a sudden they might be facing the Lakers, and it might be a little bit different of a picture or scenario. I'm going to be rooting for the Knicks tomorrow. My hope is that the Knicks are already in bed tonight. They get ready for the Clippers tomorrow. They handle the Clippers, and then they go out tomorrow like it's the turn of the century and they really enjoy Los Angeles. But that Knicks game coming up, that's the next game that you have coming up. I think I told Laker fans, if you guys remember this, that I was good with a split this weekend. I was good with a split. I thought you split Toronto and New York. You're kind of probably going to stay around that number 9 spot. Um, but you already got the one against Toronto. You got some factors working against the New York Knicks. They're, kind of a part of this long road trip that they're on or whatever the case is. They played the Sacramento Kings. Now you got this game coming up against Clippers. They'll get the Lakers on a back-to-back. Maybe we take advantage of this schedule that's in front of us to see if the Lakers can do some damage there. Now, after that Knicks game, the Lakers got, let's see, at New Orleans, at Houston, home against Dallas, home against Orlando. Just going to leave it there. Knicks, at New Orleans, at Houston, Dallas at home, at Orlando at home as well. So they got some games coming up here where they might be able to do some damage, do some work here. And I think there's a lot shaking around in the NBA right now. Who knows what's going to happen from this point? But that's a different schedule than what we've been talking about in the past, where it was, obviously incredibly challenging. Okay. Couple more that I'm going to read here and then we're going to call tonight. I keep saying we're going to call tonight, and then I just keep wanting to talk Lakers basketball. Do you think we could get to the 5 spot? Do you know the best spot if we want to just kind of talk about a perfect position for the Lakers? I think the best spot is number 6. Let me sell you guys on why number 6 is the best spot. Number 6 is the best spot because in the first round, you're basically going to play either Memphis or Sacramento. You avoid the play-in tournament. You play Memphis or Sacramento in the first round. And in the second round, you play Memphis or Sacramento. I think 6 is the spot. If Phoenix kind of continues to win, even with KD out, they're probably going to stay in that number 4 spot. I'd rather let the Clippers and the Suns, who are 4-5 right now, you guys go figure that out. And then after that, let them go play Denver or whatever the case is. I think 6 is the spot. I think that's the spot that you want. Now, you can't really control that stuff, but somebody's asking me, do I think the Lakers get to number 5? Well, technically, yeah, they can because they're only 2.5 out of number 5. And they're only 1 game out of 1.5 out of number 5, 1 game out of number 6. But I hope you guys kind of understand where I'm going with that. That's kind of my reasoning for it. right, let me ask this question. Let me answer this one here. I don't know what we got here. Alan, I asked you earlier this season if we had a guaranteed win against any team in the league. You said no now. You said no then. What are your thoughts now? Well, let me just give you an example. There's some games that you're going to have in your schedule where it would be so disappointing if they lost that game. They got Houston coming up a little bit later this month. They got Orlando coming up later this month. Those are games you got. Don't you have to get those, right? So to answer your question, they got Houston actually twice the rest of the way. Both of those games are going to be in Houston. Those are important that you cash in on some of those games. So hope that answers your questions. Someone says Sacramento's been playing really well. I don't disagree that they haven't been playing really well, but if you can avoid Denver, if you could avoid Phoenix, if you could avoid, some of these other teams, that'd be great. I'll take that all day long. Okay, Laker fans, I think I'm done. We did 36 minutes. You guys were awesome tonight. I appreciate everybody who's on. Look at that, 700 plus that are live streaming right now. It's awesome. I appreciate it. Lakers got another good win against the Toronto Raptors. They're one game away from, getting back to 500. I talked a little bit about some of the advantages the Lakers got against that New York Knicks game. Lake fans, feel good about where your squad is right now. You really should. We haven't got a chance to be excited about Lakers basketball in a while, and I feel like there's some light at the end of the tunnel. But they got to keep it going because you go on a 2-3 game losing streak. I'm not kidding. You're back to 12th to 13th. So they gotta kind of keep this momentum going. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you to everybody that if I didn't read some of your chats, my apologies. There's a lot of chats, so there's a lot of comments. Let's put it that way. Thank you to everybody that supported the super chat. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. If you could do that, that'd be fantastic. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys back on Sunday. Thank you, Laker fans. Have a great rest of your night.